2025 was the great year for silver market, but in 2026, early 2026, we saw some good run up, record prices, and from there we saw a sharp correction of almost 40 to 45% of correction also. But at this juncture, there are so many news. US and Iran, they have agreed to seal the deal, and there is a strong buzz that they are going to sign a MOU in Switzerland on 19th of June. So what will happen, that's still uncertain, but we have a very special guest today, Mr. Michael DiRienzo. He is the president and CEO of Silver Institute. Thank you so much for joining in Business24 TV, sir. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you for the invitation.
It's great to have you always, sir. So I would like to start with the silver market because we have seen already a sharp correction in silver prices. Do you still think silver is reasonable priced, or still more correction are required in this market?
Well, nobody really knows, right, where the prices are going to go. But look at the price is averaging $80 an ounce this year. And to put that in proper perspective, it averaged $28 an ounce in 2024 and $40 an ounce in 2024, in 2025, I should say. The fact of the matter is that the silver market is running on all cylinders, and what has disrupted the precious metals market has been the Iran war.
Yeah, sure. So what is the assessment of US-Iran deal? Do you think it's definitely going to happen in Switzerland on 19th of June? Or is there any speculation that they cannot seal the deal this time as well?
I think you asked about the agreement, right? The agreement between Iran and the US. I mean, it's a phased-in agreement from what I understand, that the Straits of Hormuz will be opening up shortly. There will not be a fee or a tax for ships to pass through it. And then at the other side of that agreement is that Iran has agreed to stop building or working on a nuclear weapon. That's the more tricky part of the agreement. But essentially, we are, after 3 months, right where we were at the end of February when the war began, except for the fact that the Straits are not flowing as properly as they did way back when in end of February.
Okay, so what will be the direct impact on gold and silver market after this agreement between US and Iran, sir?
Well, we've already seen that, right? So we got indications on Friday and Saturday over the weekend that the agreement was going to move forward. It has. And at the open on Sunday night in Asia, Sunday night our time, the prices went up much higher. And, you know, the price is up another $3 since Monday's trading in the United States. Gold is having a good run right now as well. It all goes back to the fact that you don't want to have squeezes in the market when it comes to location of metal and getting metal from London, from China to the United States and back through there. So this is a good sign, but we have to remain cautious because anything can happen. The couple of wild cards are Israel, Lebanon. We just don't know.
Okay, that's definitely in all this capital market, we need to be cautious, but definitely this time we are quite bullish and optimistic that the deal could happen and agreement can be signed on 19th June. Let's see what happens. But what's the situation in China? Are they still buying silver? Are they accumulating silver? So could you give some details about that, sir?
China is importing a lot of silver. Okay, they're taking in silver and they're also buying gold for their central banks. So the demand side, both on industrial for silver as well as for investment, is strong in China. And they continue to take in shipments of silver. It really kind of reminds me of what the United States was doing last year prior to Liberation Day on April 2nd, when we were very concerned about potential tariffs on the market. There's not tariffs in China. They're consuming the silver. It's either going into investment grade bars, it's going into industry, and so forth. But yes, they are indeed importing a lot of silver.
Okay, still they are importing the lots of silver in Chinese demand is still strong. Sir, one more thing about the industrial demand. Could you give some breakup about the industrial demand? Which segment is taking more silver than anyone else? Still, solar sector, they are driving the real demand?
Did you ask me if China is using more silver, industrial silver than anybody? Yes.
Okay. So still the solar sector or other sectors like EV and AI driven data centers, they are also attracting more demand?
Globally, let's just forget China for a second and talk about the globe, okay? So worldwide, we're seeing a big increase in silver demand in automobiles. And it's not just the EVs, the battery electric vehicles, the hybrids. It's also an industrial ICE engines, okay? So carbon gas engines. We are seeing Right now, we're looking at about 50 to 55 million ounces of silver worldwide in the global auto industry. And we project by 2030 that will be over 100 million ounces of silver. I mean, electric vehicles are the new rage all across the land. In China, in Europe, we lost our subsidies here in the United States when President Trump took over. We lost our solar subsidies, but the United States is not an island of its own. The whole world is moving forward and they're consuming and they're buying these electric vehicles and installing solar panels, not only for industrial use, but also for residential use.
Okay, so you don't think that if silver prices will be higher, what we had seen in 2000, early 2000?
I don't know about the prices, and I don't give projections on.
No, but at this prices, do you still think that the demand will be higher in from the solar panel?
Yes, for the time being, yes. There's no question about it that manufacturers, OEMs, are looking to reduce the amount of silver they use in their particular products. But I can give you a good side note. Even when silver was $13 an ounce, they were trying to get out of silver. Now it's $70 an ounce. They're still trying to use less and less silver. And in the photovoltaic arena, it will have an impact because they are using less silver. But the good news is that they are installing more solar panels. So if you're installing more and it contains even less silver, you're still consuming a lot of silver. And if you're building a solar field that has a 25-year projected lifespan, you're going to want to have silver in those panels because it provides the longevity, the reliability, and the stability.
Okay, and it's also called the best electricity conductor as well. So one more thing I wanted to know, what are the biggest risks you are seeing in the silver demand side?
What are the biggest threats?
Yeah.
Well, I think thrifting is probably the biggest. A slowdown of the global economy would be another. All right. So far, everything seems to be going great, but nonetheless, I saw some reports where the IMF and others have reduced their year-end forecasts for global GDP. So that could have an impact on industrial demand. But let's not forget, silver is not just used in solar and EV. It's used in data centers. It's used in AI, two of the fastest growing fields in the world. It's used not only in those two arenas, it's used in airplanes, in nuclear energy, wind-powered energy. It's used in consumer goods such as televisions, refrigerators, washing machines, your iPhone, your Galaxy phone. They all require silver because, as you mentioned, it is the best conductor of electricity.
Yeah, there are large number of vertical segment. They are consuming more and more silvers. One more thing I wanted to know about that. There are many economists in the world. They are expecting that some kind of slowdown in global economy. Are you in those league as well, sir?
Well, that could impact the silver price if I understood the question correctly. And as I mentioned, some groups have forecasted lower global demand. And I think this war may be one of the reasons why. Okay, so what we need to stop the conflict. Okay, and once that is completely resolved, because we're in a ceasefire right now, we need our industries to operate as they were in 2025 and the first 2 months of this year.
Okay. Sir, last question. What is the condition of silver mining? Because as your report suggests that silver market is into a structural deficit on a 6th year in a row. So what is the update from the mining side, sir?
It's not a great picture on the mining side. I mean, the miners are operating safely and they are producing a lot of silver, but we still think that number is going to decrease this year almost by 3%. And the reason is there are no new projects on the market. We have some stuff coming online in Mexico and in Peru, in Morocco, even here in the United States, some mines are coming online. But that is not enough. And when you include scrap supply to meet the demand of silver. So you're correct. We are in the 6th year of a structural market deficit. We think this year it's going to grow by about 6 million ounces from 40 in 2025 to about 46 million ounce deficit in 2026.
Okay. Sir, last question. As an investor, we should give weightage to gold or silver?
It depends on your play, right? I mean, there's so many ways to invest in both metals. I think silver is more unique. It gives the investor more of a exposure to the volatility in the metal, which can be good or bad. I mean, when silver starts to run, it goes up really fast, real quickly, okay? And it goes up high. Gold is a little more steady as it goes up. So it depends on what type of investor you are, how much money you have at risk, and what your appetite is for that risk.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. With this note, I would like to thank you for taking your time out early morning from Washington and taking your time out for our investors. Thank you so much, sir.
Tell your audience to go buy silver. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a nice day, sir. Thank you.